Hello everybody and welcome back to Casual Gamer Oz as we get to the final round of our third season here on F1 2017. We're at Abu Dhabi, the Yas Marina circuit, and we are, of course, Formula 1 driver Ben Waterworth. That's me. Not really. This is the character in the game is myself, and we're driving with Toro Rosso. Now, our best qualifying here, 15th, which we've achieved in the first season of F1 2016 and the last season here on F1 2017. So let's do this. Now, we obviously had a very miserable career invitational. That's the one I'm trying to look for, Ben. So we're going to put that behind us and try our best here to do our best in Abu Dhabi. 17th is where they want us. I think that's achievable. Of course, having said that, I'll probably jinx myself. And we want to end this season on a high. We want to keep our Toro Rosso seat for next season because no other team is going to look at us. And it's either here or Sauber, and we want to drive here, not Sauber, given that, well, F1 2016 we drove for Sauber, and we've worked our little asses off to develop this car to where we are at the moment. Worked so hard on making them nice little offices, fancy development areas to make things develop faster, and they're just going to take that away from us because of a couple of performances because they can't make the car any better. Go figure. Anyway, we're hoping that we can perform above expectations here in Yas Marina. Not going to do that with a bit of curb there. Doesn't hurt us too much. And I suppose an engine increase is what we've been working on. And if we obviously keep this seat next year, we're going to have a lot more upgrades to come in terms of faster ones, because that's what happens when you build nice little plucky R&D offices for the team with all your resource points. They work a little bit better, and therefore they work a little bit faster. And Carlos Sainz has basically done nothing to increase that, and yet I don't see him under pressure. Fair is fair, Toro Rosso. Anyway, we can hold on to this in the last sequence here. We can keep above our expected 17th. We've dropped from 14th down to 16th, 15th, 15th. Okay. We've equaled our best qualifying here. Third time we've qualified in 15th. So, there you go. Alright. So, the championship battle, just to refresh our memories, just quickly. So, 3 points between Raikkonen and Vettel. Hamilton has a lot more work to do. So, it looks for once as though we're not going to have Hamilton win this championship. Vettel ahead of Raikkonen. We're going to see how that works. I'm more interested to see how that plays out. Anyway, let's get into race day. I'm going to do that now. Yeah, I'm more intrigued to see who's winning the championship here. I kind of want Kimi to win it. I love Seb. But Kimi, you know, how would this work? Kimi wins the championship. Ferrari want me randomly. I replace retiring Kimi. I'll take it. It's not going to work, but anyway. Highest finish here, 10th. That was back in Season 1 of F1 2017. Last year we finished 15th. 11th, apologies. So, just some updates for you there. And we're getting our asses spanked in the rivalry. We're going to move a little bit further up the red zone there. We do. Cool. Well, look at that. McLaren and Sauber want us. Oh, goody. All right. Last round for Season 3. It's all about saving our spot on the grid in a Toro Rosso. Otherwise, I feel we're going to end up driving for Sauber next year. It's not where we want to be. We left Sauber for a reason. Although, having said that, we won races for Sauber. Different game, Ben, but still. On the career trajectory of Ben Waterworth, that's not where we want to be. So, here we go. Last weekend of the year. Abu Dhabi. The championship will be decided today. And so will my seat at Toro Rosso. You ready for this, folks? I'm ready. Let's get an inside line, would be nice. Nope. Don't want to be nice to me today. We'll just put it onto rich mode just for the opening bit of this race. I'm going to go straight across here to get that inside line. I'm going to brake here into turn 1, which is generally what you always do in a Formula 1 race, Ben. Nothing new there. As, whoa, you get yourself well out of shape there. Well out of shape again. And you're not going to get any positions off the start. Except up into this section here. If you can avoid carnage, You got a Renault there. Is that Hulkenberg? No, it's Palmer, your rival. We're going to switch it back to standard revs because you were wasting way too much fuel there. And we've got Massa. We've avoided a lot of damage from Williams this season, so that's good. Just haven't been up the pointy end of the grid. They've improved a lot this year, and we haven't. So therefore, they're racing at the pointy end. We're still scrapping away here over the dregs, just outside the points. Whoa, hello Romain, how are you? Still French? Cool. You can see he actually put his arm up outside the cockpit there. That was cool. I realise that we do that when we get a little bit flustered, but it's cool to actually see it that close. I'm just going to maintain it there. Felt like he might have clipped me. And we're on for 11th again here, which is where we obviously finished in Brazil and where we finished this time last year. Slight bit of damage to the front wing, but I don't think it's the major type of damage that should affect us too much. It's feeling okay at the moment. And I think any moment now, Hulkenberg will just start waltzing off into the distance here. And we've got to try and maintain this gap to Romain Grosjean. Hamilton leading. Ooh, interesting. So I don't know where the Ferraris ended up off the line, but if they're second and third, then obviously whoever would be second there would win the championship. Although if Raikkonen was second and Vettel was third, they would be equal on points, and I don't know who's had the most wins this season. I have a feeling it's Seb, but that'll be interesting to see what the computer decides. Imagine if they both spun out at the first corner, or they both got overtaken. Oh, the possibilities. It's going to be a very close finish to this championship, which is good to see. Meanwhile, we're 6 places clear of where they want us to finish. So right now, I feel as though we should have done enough to keep our Toro Rosso seat. But famous last words, Benjamin. Famous last words. Now, we're not going to get points again today, barring any exceptions above us, which means that we would have not scored points in the last 11 races of the season. Disastrous. Disastrous. And again, I feel like I'm driving better this season than I did last season. Less crashes, I feel. And, yet, here we go. I'm going to be my worst season by far here on Casual Gamer Oz. It's not meant to be that way. It's meant to get easier, not harder. Anyway, we're going to decrease the difficulty by 1 notch heading into the next season. Now, you might think that's a bit of cheating or whatever, but that's just kind of to help us out a little bit moving forward. And again, we initially did drop it down in the beginning, didn't we? But again, I still feel that I can keep up with these guys. It's just the development. As I keep complaining, I say it every single round basically. You get punished for your mistakes and you don't get rewarded for the things that you do good. So that's how I feel it's really doing it. So that's why I feel I need to drop it down the difficulty level a notch. So it's only going to be 1. As I said, I think I'm on 71 from memory, so we'll drop it down to 70, which is about where we were at in F1 2016. So we'll see how we go with that for next season. As we just have to hold on here to 11th. And whoa, I get myself out of shape there. Grosjean wants to have a bit of a snifferoo. 3 places ahead of Palmer as well. Now, Grosjean, I think we'll get a bit of DRS. No, not quite there yet. He probably will in the next section though, I feel. Got to avoid these curbs. Abu Dhabi is very unforgiving on the curbs. Managed to just make it through. Now we'll get DRS here. Grosjean will easily get DRS. Yes, he does. I can see that wing flipping open. You can see just him closing in on me now as we get to the braking zone. And he's just not close enough. It's always this back part of the circuit though that I struggle at. And as I said, Hulkenberg just starting to waltz away into the distance. As once again, I have to try and hang on to it in this section now. Will this be our last ever Grand Prix for Toro Rosso? It's either going to be a Toro Rosso or a Sauber next year, I feel. If we get the McLaren offer, I'm going to take the McLaren offer, as if it's between Sauber and McLaren. If it's between Toro Rosso, Sauber and McLaren, I'm going to stay with Toro Rosso. If it's like McLaren, Renault and Williams, I'm going to take the what would I take there? The Renault. Of course I would. I wasn't even paying attention to what I was saying there. But we know we're not going to get any offers from the other teams besides that. It's just really is a case of, can we stick to our Toro Rosso seat? There's going to be our best option available to us. Unless Sauber and McLaren are our only options, then we'll take the McLaren team. Although that way our engine there is going to be a lot further down. Although other parts of the car I feel they've been working on in terms of performance, as you can see in the performance tree. Anyway, positive, if we do get to keep our Toro Rosso seat, we should get a nice little chunk of development points. And we should be able to increase that engine capacity a little bit in the off-season. Grosjean getting very racy here. Romain's going to go around the outside of me as we head up here into the braking zone. I'm just going to cover him, I feel, just enough. Yes, I will. Well, lose a little bit of the back end. And once again, the racing quite clean. Obviously, if we do switch down a notch on the difficulty and we find it too easy, then we might have to put it back up. Because I don't want it to be too easy, clearly, as you can tell. Because then what's the fun in that? What's the fun if you're just winning all the time? You want to be challenged for it, and I thought this would be enough of a challenge for me to get through, and generally that's what happens in career mode with me on these games, is that by this point I'm in a midfield team that's challenging for victories and podiums constantly, as opposed to, yeah. But I guess also I do use flashbacks in those ones when you don't watch me, so therefore I guess a lot of these races that I have mistakes at, I can correct them and perhaps finish where I expect to finish. Anyway, last lap coming up right now. Last lap of Season 3 here on F1 2017. Stroll has got himself up into 12th place. How will Lance do against me here? Can I hold on to 11th position and maintain my seat here at Scuderia Toro Rosso moving forward into Season 4? Or will I get dropped into the bellies of Sauber or even McLaren? We'll have to wait and see here. And who's going to win the championship? Hamilton, I feel, is still leading this Grand Prix. But I don't think, unless the Ferraris somehow have dropped well back off the pace, that he has done enough in order to win the championship. I definitely think that one of those Ferraris have got it. Vettel led Raikkonen by 3 points. If Vettel finishes second, he's world champion. If Raikkonen finishes second and Vettel finishes third, they're equal on points, and it'll be a countback on whoever's won the most races, and I don't know who that is. I haven't been really writing down the other results. I've only been focused on mine. That's one thing I wish they would do here on F1 2017, is you can go back and look at the other results from past races rather than just yours. Just a little side bit there. Keep track of the statistics like they do in like NBA and FIFA and games like that. Just, you know, I think it would be fun. Anyway, we're going to see who's going to win the Grand Prix in just a few moments. I feel like it will be Hamilton, but that won't have done enough for him for a chance. So Hamilton wins, but for him to win the World Championship, he's going to have to hope that the Ferraris had a terrible race. We've had no retirements in this Grand Prix, so we know that they're both in it, and we know that they're both in the top 10 because there are no Ferraris behind me. So definitely the Ferraris are in the points. I'm going to cross the line here at 11th. Have I done enough to keep my drive at Toro Rosso, or is that it? We're about to find out. Jeffrey.
That's the end of the race. We'll see you in Parc Fermé.
Thank you. We're about to find out who's the world champion here.
It's been my privilege over the
It's Vettel. Vettel has won the championship. There you go. Finally a Ferrari wins a championship, and finally somebody besides Lewis Hamilton wins a world championship in Casual Gamer Oz. Congratulations, Seb Vettel, your 5th world championship. And how did it play out? He got second. That's how it played out. So interesting to see what the gap will be in terms of the championship. We're just going to have a look at the replay here at the start, as we always do. Hamilton just got straight between them. And I'm going to dive one straight up here, and I've just braked again. Do you see how cautious I am now into these turns? Just because, you know, I know how quickly and easy it is to lose wings and get yourself into spots where, you know, you've kind of got no turning back from. And you're going to see me get a bunch of positions here. Oh, just hesitate slightly. That's Palmer there, not Hulkenberg, obviously. And another little dive bomb move up there, and then that would be it, basically. I'll have a bit of a battle with Grosjean, but we won't need to look at that. So, Hamilton, Vettel, Raikkonen, Bottas, Verstappen, Ricciardo, Massa, Perez, Ocon, Hulkenberg. So, let's just have a look at the standings, how it all played out. Vettel won the championship by 6 points over Raikkonen. Hamilton, well, he ended up finishing third. Bottas, fourth. Ricciardo, fifth. Massa, Verstappen, Perez, Stroll, Grosjean, Ocon, Hulkenberg, myself, the lowest ever. 4 points all season. That is embarrassing. 13th, that is our worst season by far. Wow. Palmer, 2 points. I'm doing better than him. Put me in that car, I'll do better than Palmer. Magnussen, 15 points. 2 points for Haas, 15th, I should say. So Verline, Alonso, Van Dorn, Sainz, my teammate, and Ericsson, no points for this season. Constructors, Ferrari win their third consecutive Constructors' Championship in this game, at least. Mercedes, second. Red Bull, third. Williams, fourth. Good job by them this season. Force India in fifth. Haas, sixth. Renault in seventh. Toro Rosso, there we are, eighth. I scored all the points, of course. Sauber, McLaren, no score at all this season. So we're going to press this and this, and we're going to see what's happening for Season 4. As we always do, we end it just by joining us here. Have we kept our Toro Rosso seat? It's nerve-wracking, isn't it? Let's see what points we get here, at least. It's always the nerve-wracking moment of what's going to happen here. Where am I going to end up next season? Again, I wish you could have told this earlier. I think I said this last season. Well, I've been given a huge bunch of resource points as a bonus. So, I think that might mean we'll stick around for another season, doesn't it? 1,126. As a result of performance across the season, an additional 647 has been rewarded to next year. Not as many as I have got in the past. Have we lost this rivalry? Well, we're within 6. Now, okay. Judging on that, you'd assume Haas, McLaren, and Sauber are interested in me. But look at that. Mercedes, Ferrari, and Red Bull have shimmered up a little bit. Alright, let's press this. Okay. We've still got this to do. Alright, now let's press this. Performance has not been level. Experience, you finished 13th. You and your teammate both. I'm sorry. He achieved none of those points, so don't put him in the same category as me. We'll return next season. So that means I must be sticking around. Oh, I think we've survived. I think we have survived here, folks. So look at our terrible season, shall we? 16th, 10th, 10th, 13th. Did not finish, 16th, 14th, 9th. Did not finish 15th, 18th, did not finish 19th, 18th, 14th, did not finish 11th. Wow. We're in that red zone. Look at our performance there. We're on par with Sauber and just behind McLaren. So we're going to push forward. I think we've survived. Generally a contract offer would have come by now. So we will be into 4th season with Toro Rosso, and as much as I'm sick of driving for Toro Rosso, I'm going to say it's a bit of a relief. It is a bit of a relief to be able to, yeah. I should have developed those parts before this season, shouldn't I? Because now we're going to get the upgrades here in Australia. Bugger. What we might do is we might upgrade these parts just while we're here in Australia. I know this isn't the first video of the next season, but just in the meantime, just for something to do while we've got you here. To close out the season, to develop the car, so you know when Season 4 starts, we're going to have some developments moving into China. And we'll just see here. Okay, well, I'm happy that we've survived to Toro, so we didn't have to at least go to Sauber. So there's a positive. Oh, here he comes.
Hey, I need to talk to you for a minute.
Oh, yeah, do you?
It looks like we're falling behind upgrade-wise.
Well, it's not my fault.
I really need you to push harder with development.
I'm pushing my ass off, you dickhead.
Take a look at the report.
Why do you tell me this now? Have you not actually been around the factory all off-season? And you wait till Friday practice? Now look at that development. I think Sauber has overtaken us in the off-season. We are officially the slowest team now in Formula 1. Wow. Okay. That's what happens when you develop the nice plucky little officers. So we're going to, obviously we're not going to race because that's going to be a whole different video. So we're just going to whack on some developments here for you. We've got 1,126. So we can, pistons for the engine power, fuel technology for the engine power. So 500 points there. We've got 500 points for ERS cooling for the fuel consumption. And we've also got fuel consumption energy store cell. That's at 750. So I think we can do both pistons on the engine power. That'll be ready for China. And we can also do our ERS cooling. Can we do our ERS cooling? Unavailable. Department capacity reached. What? You can't even do more than one at a time? Well, that's bullshit. Well, that's disappointing. You can only do one at a time. Well, that's frustrating as fuck. Well, there you go. They want to be a dick about it. Look how much we can get there if we can get to that point there with the turbo pressure engine power. Takes 3 weeks to develop that. Alright, well, this is the end of our Season 3. We've survived. We're in Toro Rosso, so there's a positive at least. So you'll see us continue that. Obviously, here on Casual Gamer, I was into our 4th season, and hopefully we can have a lot better of a season. We've had 2 rubbish seasons going forward. Obviously, we'll have a few more online races for you in the meantime. Remember to like, subscribe, and comment on these videos, and you can add me to the PlayStation Network, NYC55David, in the meantime, if you wish to have a bit of a go with me on some online races. Thank you for tuning in to Casual Gamer Oz. Bring on Season 4. We'll speak to you soon. Good night.